Everyone, welcome to the monthly December session for Zentrepreneur. We have Ajit. He's going to be speaking about building your empire in 2015. Before we start, let me apologize for the time change. That's my fault. I sent out the wrong times in the email. Um, and also, we're going to have the Q&A on the side, so you can ask your questions, and Ajit will answer them when appropriate. And also, I'll have a replay link available a few hours after this webinar is over. So, Ajit, whenever you're ready.
Hi there, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure we're all set up correctly. Apologies if you saw the video of me actually telling Sam how we need to check the video before we actually go live. So welcome, first of all. It's Wednesday morning for me. It's a beautiful morning in Kuala Lumpur. I am at my desk, which is a new standing desk that I've just got. And today what we are going to discuss is something absolutely fantastic. I've done this presentation with a couple of friends before and maybe 2 or 3 masterminds. And we did it recently at our own mastermind called Zentrepreneur. The response to that was phenomenal. People absolutely loved it. The reason why people loved it also, once I took feedback from them, was not only because after this training they know exactly what needs to happen, but it brings a tremendous amount of peace and certainty to your business. So what I believe personally is, as entrepreneurs, we don't need to live in a place of anxiety. We don't need to live in a place of uncertainty. I think as entrepreneurs, we do better, we grow faster, we do better, and we scale our businesses in a much more efficient way if we have certain level of certainty. Of course, we are entrepreneurs, we'll always want to do something like this, that, but at the same point in time, if you have certain level business plans and logics that allow you to have predictable, scalable growth. So that's some of the objectives that we're going to take care of in today's presentation. That's the reason why I wanted to do it for a larger community as well. We're hoping to have about 100 people show up for this training. We call it the best year yet training, because if you thought that you've got some of your better years till now, what I promise is by the end of this presentation, by the end of this video, by the end of this training, you will feel and you will have next year as your best year ever. I say it not only from the perspective of how much revenue and how much growth you will see, but also I talk from a place of saying how much bliss you will have while doing what you do. So stay back. We're gonna need some notepad, something that you can take notes on, because we are gonna do a couple of questions where we will analyze certain things to be able to create a plan by the end of the presentation, so you walk into 2015 knowing exactly how much growth you're going to have, why you're going to have it, or what are the things that you need to work on, what are the things that you don't need to work on, and you will walk out with a whole plan going all the way from January to December, knowing every week and every day what you really need to do to get that success in your business. So before I get started, I'm gonna give you another second or two, a minute, to just go get a notepad, get some paper, some pen. It'll be ideal if you actually write it. If you're more you don't have a notepad around and you really want to use a computer, you could use Evernote or someplace where you can save that information. Whatever exercise we're going to do during this presentation, you're going to need it for the rest of your 2015. So I would give you another maybe 10 seconds or so. Already got the pen and paper. I have my notes ready, which is why I'm going to look down often to make sure that we are completely in sync. We are also going to switch around the screen to slides. Before I get started, also, let me give you a brief introduction of myself while we're waiting for the guys to get their pens and paper. My name is Ajit. I am CEO of Mind Valley Media and also co-founder of EverCoach. You might have heard about the business EverCoach. It is a business that is for coaches to be better coaches. And I come from a background where when I was making $500 a month, my mom thought that I was set for life. So I come from a very small town in Jaipur, called Jaipur in India, where $500 was a decent amount of money 5-6 years ago, when she told me, I think you're done, you don't need to worry about starting a business and blow it all up. Fortunately, in the past few years, I've been able to build 4 businesses in the last 4, and all of them have reached the level of $500,000 to $1 million. So I've been very fortunate, and what I'm trying to do at this point, which became clearer when I was at an event recently where Jeff Walker was speaking, and Jeff said one thing which resonated with me deeply, was when Jeff just started his business, he all he wanted to do was to have $100,000 for himself, and that was pretty much it. And once he had that, he didn't know for a bit as to why he was doing what he was doing, because he'd already fulfilled his objective. This happened to me about 2, 3 years ago, when my objective that I thought would be my life goal, and if I would get that, it'll be done. Um, I I went into the same trap where I was trying to figure out what is it that really makes me, what is it that really I should do, because all the goals, like we are all trained to have goals and meeting those goals. My life goal was all of a sudden done and taken care of, and I was already in the category of successful young people kind of thing, and I didn't know. I had no idea what to do, and at that time it helped me when I shifted my mindset from going, how can I make more money, to how can I serve more people, how can I create more impact, which is why we do what we do at Entrepreneur, is to try and give that value, give that training, whatever we have learned and whatever we are using to scale our businesses, to give it back to you. I'm hoping everybody who needed to get a pad and a pen or anything is already back and are ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly walk you through what are the objectives of the call today. Then we are going to start doing certain exercises, and we're going to make sure that we write everything down. More we write, the better output we'll have of this training. So first thing, I want to make sure that you understand what we are going to do today. Today, what I'm going to walk you through is an entire process that I do personally for Mindvalley, and Mindvalley has grown by 60% this year. And also, I do it for all of the businesses, and I did it with a couple of entrepreneurs at Zenpreneur and at War Room and at several other masterminds. And we found that after this exercise, after this particular process, people have more certainty. So I'm going to try and give you more certainty by the end of this training, more predictability in the sense of they know exactly what month would be good, what month may not be as good, but at the same point in time, they have predictable revenue that is coming in. It is going to be for long term, which means that it doesn't only work for 2015, it will give you a solid foundation for going beyond 2015 as well. So it is a long-term outcome. What you will have by the end of this this training, this exercise that we are going to do, is you will know exactly what will be your strategy in 2015. You will know exactly what the items you'll be working on in 2015. You would have very clear goals of how much you want to grow, and you will have clear action steps and everyday plan by the end of this presentation. I'm guessing that is absolutely great for anybody at this point, because in November, December, what happens is we are towards the end of the year, which is sometimes these are not the best months, and January becomes the best month, is because at the end of the year you're so tired, so drained of the entire year. And if you are somebody who goes to events and masterminds, this is the time when there are all the events and all the masterminds are happening. So it goes a little bit crazy on the entrepreneur, because say if you didn't hit your goal, or you're close to hitting your goal, but you don't really know how to go through and push through the finish line, or if you're far away from your goal, or if you've hit your goal, each of these things would actually put you in a state that is not as powerful as it is when it is January and new goals are on, which is also why one of the big reasons why I want to do the training right now, because your December will also become better while we are taking care of this, okay? So I just want to make sure, don't worry, it's December, but 2015 is going to be epic, and 2014, even if you've not hit your goals, is going to be epic before we finish it, and you will see the amount of clarity that comes the moment we'll finish with this presentation, okay? But before we get into the presentation, we have to make sure that we understand one thing really, really well. And this is the first question that you have to answer before I switch over to slides. Here is the question that I want you to answer while I'm moving the slides, is what is the next level of meaning that your work brings? Okay, it's a little bit personal growth, this question. It's a little bit more spiritual, but it's important for you to know what is the meaning for what you do, because if that's not going to become clear, everything or every follow-up question that I will ask may not be answered properly, because we would not know we would not have connected to our own meaning. We wouldn't have connected to what really we are doing and why we are doing what we're doing, okay? So while I'm switching the screens and getting the slides on, I'm going to mute myself. What I want you to think about for 30 seconds or so is what is the meaning? Why are you doing what you're doing? All right. So at any point of time you want to ask a question or you have something to talk about, please don't mind typing in your questions. I may not be answering them straight off the bat, but what I will do is at the end of the presentation, I'm going to try and answer all questions that show up during this, and also the questions that may have been posted on the page. So do know that I will be addressing all questions and as many questions as possible. And we might go a little bit more than an hour. That's okay, because this is a very, very important conversation that we need to have. Now you would have seen that the slides have switched, and I'm trying to get you the questions that I want you to answer. I'm going to give you about 40 seconds to answer each question. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect as an answer. The first answer usually is the right answer. So I want you to go ahead and write that down. We are going to, the later part of the exercise will need a little bit more time on your side, and that is the time when I will give you maybe 2 to 3 minutes to be able to answer each of those questions. All right, so let me bring up my timer, my phone. All right, so that way we will know exactly when we have enough time that we've taken care of. Okay, so let's begin the exercise. And this exercise, like I said, by the end of this exercise, it'll take about 20-30 minutes for us to go through the entire exercise. I'll give you about 30-40 seconds to answer each question. Why we are doing this exercise is after this exercise, you will have 100% certainty and clarity of what your business really stands for, what is it that you're really doing, and how really we'll scale our business next year. So your first question that you must see on your screen right now is the most critical question and will set the tone of what you want to achieve in the year 2015. Your first question that I want you to answer is, how much revenue do you want to generate next year? If you haven't thought of it yet, think of the first number that comes to your mind, and that is the amount of revenue that you want to generate next year. Why I ask this question is most of the times we forget to put a number. So you need to be able to create a strategy, a plan, an action step. You need a number to work with, because that number is going to help us define what needs to happen. Secondly, is what percentage of growth would you be I met there was one of the entrepreneurs who was doing about $500,000 at the recent event that we did called Centerpreneur. She was a fitness personality, and she set out a goal of about 250% growth year on year. And when I spoke to her personally, we realized that she had put that goal just by peer pressure of everybody around her saying that that's the level of growth that you need to have. But when I personally spoke to her and I tried to understand what's her why, what's the reason, and how much she wants to really grow, and what's the kind of lifestyle that she really wants, we realized all she wanted to do was about 40-50% growth year on year, because that would have given her A, the lifestyle she wanted, B, she wouldn't feel burnt out at the end of the year. She would actually be excited with that number and felt confident that she could actually get there. And that actually allowed her to feel fulfilled as well, instead of feeling too challenged to be able to. So one very important theory is you don't want to set yourself up for failure, because when you compound failure, it leads you to becoming demotivated with whatever you're doing. Whereas if you compound success, or you compound wins, even small wins, it makes you more motivated, more confident of achieving what you want to achieve. So you always want to set yourself up for success. Your goals should be a little bit scary, but shouldn't be that scary that you already give up before you even start. In the recent book that Tony Robbins has written called, I think, Wealth, 7 Steps to Getting Financial Freedom, or something like that, in that book, again, he also talks about the same thing, on how you need to have a long-term view instead of having an immediate gratifying view, because you'll feel burnt, you'll lose, you're not able to really set the pace of your success if you're too tight and too scared of the future. So you need to make sure that you're a little bit scared, but at the same time super excited about your goal, and that's the kind of percentage you want to put into. So don't just put 300% because you can, because yes you can, but will you be happy while doing it? Are you happy to do the amount of work that it will require? So put a goal that makes you feel happy and fulfilled as much as it'll make you feel good about the growth of your company. Lastly, would you be able to estimate the number of clients you would want to impact? Why I put this metric in is because a lot of times we'll see that we feel that we need thousands and thousands of clients, which means we need millions of visitors to our website. But when we really break it down, we realize we don't need thousands of clients. We need hundreds of clients, which means we need thousands of impressions on the website, which makes it less overwhelming for an entrepreneur to be able to go and plow through whatever is the point of conversation, whatever needs to be done at in that month. So I'm going to mute myself for about 30 seconds. I want you to write down answers to these three questions. How much revenue do you want to generate next year? What percentage of growth you would be happy, you will feel happy and fulfilled with? And would you be able to estimate the number of clients you would want to impact? Please write it down. All right, so I'm guessing you must have written the answers by now. Whatever comes to your mind, just write that for now, okay? Secondly, second part of this question is, what business are you in? Now, most of the times we make a fundamental error of understanding what business are we actually playing. So, for example, a lot of times people feel that, for example, like people would feel Mindvalley is a publishing company, but that's not true. We are not in the business of publishing. That is one of the things that we do. But a real business is education technology. What we build at Mindvalley is technologies that allow people to be able to publish fast, or to be able to take their brightest of the ideas out to the world. Now, it may sound like a very simple shift, but it's actually more complicated than that, and here's why. Because the moment you start looking at the business instead of from the perspective of, say, publishing in my case, and start looking at it as education technology, the way you approach deals, the way you approach clients, the way you look at what is your really the product, and you look at the scalability of your product completely changes. If I would look at myself as a publishing company, I would be more concerned about, say, the deals that I have with authors. Whereas because I'm an education technology company, it becomes easier for me to do deals because I position myself as an education technology company, and my clients see it as an education company, which means, education technology company, which allows me to think my products as my technologies, which allows me for scalability. Now, of course, Mindvalley wants to impact 1 billion lives, and because you want to impact 1 billion lives, you have to be a big company to be able to do that, which is why we are more focused on technology. Whereas, let's say, if you are more centered around creating 1,000 really impactful businesses, let's say if you're a business consultant or a business coach, if that's what you are looking at, then what you want to think about is not maybe technology, but maybe content flow or framework. So you need to understand what business you are in. Are you in the transformative business? Are you in the business of actually helping other businesses? Because then you might want to be services centered. The conversation is going to change once you understand what business you are in. So give it a second, give it maybe 10 seconds, and try to figure what business are you really in, okay? I'm going to mute myself, try to answer that question, write it down. What business are you in? I'm guessing you got that. If at this point you're wondering, why am I doing this exercise? Trust me, follow the process. You are going to get the result that I promised you in the starting of this presentation, which is you'll have very certain and predictable growth in the year of 2015 based on what you want to achieve. And you will have that formula. If you want to grow by 1,000%, you will have that formula. Uh, but stick with me. These are very important questions to be able to answer before we can get to that place, okay? Thirdly, now your next question would be, if you could only get paid once your clients got results, which means that you will actually have to render your services and let the client get the results before you ever actually receive any transaction for it, what and how would your ideal client look like? What would be the characteristics? What will be the values? What's the type of business or type of profession that they would have? I know this question is very similar to knowing your exact customer avatar. Now, why I ask you this question is you will see in the follow-up questions we are going to tweak what you are really doing as a business and try to question that a little bit. Okay, so write this down. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds for this. List down as many characteristics. Are they men? Are they women? Are they older, between the age of 60 to 80, or they're younger, between like 30 to 50, or they are super young, like the new generation, between 18 to 20 or 18 to 30? Answer the age group, answer how they look like, even if you can find like what kind of image that will represent them, have that somewhere. All right, so I'll give you 30 seconds to really nail that down, because that would again be very critical for our overall plan that we are going to create in this presentation. Go ahead and list down what kind of food they would eat. Like, it could be like, are they Whole Foods guys, or they're the guys who go to Walmart? What kind of businesses they may be running? Are they solopreneurs? Are they internet marketing guys? Are they real estate people? Whatever that is. By the way, acknowledgements to the people who are online right now from Europe. I know it's an odd time for you. It is awesome that you have actually made it. Acknowledgements also for who are just finishing work and have decided to stay back to join this presentation. I'm guessing at this point you have already listed down the characteristics of your avatar, or the person that you're really positioning everything to. Now, the next question, and now it starts to get trickier and trickier, okay? I want you to list down everything, every solution that you imagine that you need to be able to create to make 2015 possible, okay? So based on the clients that we just talked about, write down every goddamn idea that you thought you need to execute in 2015 to be able to achieve the success that you want to do, okay? And by that, what I mean is list down every product. Don't think about Facebook strategies and all that right now, not just yet. For now, just simply write down all the ideas that you think that as products you need to create in the year 2015 to be able to achieve your goals. Write them down right now as I'm speaking. Write that now. I'm sure there are at least 5 to 8 to maybe 12 different things or ideas that you feel that you need to get done to achieve the success that you want to achieve in the year 2015. Okay, so go ahead, write it down. What would be the solutions that that you need? I'm hoping you've listed down 8-10 items there, so you have quite a few things. What we are going to do is, okay, now you would have had maybe 8-10, maybe 12 items that you thought that you need to create as products for you to achieve the success that you want to achieve in 2015. Now I want you to answer a different question. I want you to write down all the strategies that you believe that you need to execute to achieve the success and the results that you want. By strategies, I mean, if you thought, oh, I need to start a Google AdWords account, or I need to start Facebook, or I need to start doing organic social media, or if I need to do advertised social media, whatever that may be, go ahead and write that down. Write down what are all the strategies that you believe you need to be able to execute on to achieve the results that you want. Again, like I said, it might go Instagram. Some of people feel they need to be on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, and maybe some of you actually think that you need to be even on Snapchat if your audience is really young, or if you feel that you need to set up those 7 different plugins on WordPress for you to be able to execute on it, or you need to get into the Amazon side of things to be able to execute, or you need to write that book because everybody tells you to write that book. Write all those strategies down. I'm guessing they will again account for maybe 8 to 10 of these items. As I said, that's why we are writing them, because we are going to do one step at a time. Okay. So I'm guessing by this time you've written at least 5 to 7 strategies that you feel that you really need in 2015 to be able to get the results that you want. Okay. So we are going to move to the next question. Now, I want you to do is I want you to put numbers in front of each of those things. Here's what I mean. So, for example, if you go, hey, I think I need to create a $2,000 product, okay? So what I want you to do is then I want you to say, okay, I need $2,000 product and I need to sell 100 of these, let's say, for example, okay? So write down 2,000 into 100, that's 200,000. okay? Or you go, oh, I need to create Facebook advertising where I would add maybe 2 million to the business, or 100,000 to the business, or 10,000 to the business. Doesn't matter what the number is, but just write down numbers against each of the strategies and each of the products that you feel that you need to do in 2015. Start writing them down, like whatever number comes to your mind which looks achievable. So for example, for 2000, if you go, I only need to sell 100 units and I will make 200,000. That would mean you are selling a unit every 3 days or something, or a little bit less, every 4 days approximately, and if at 3.5 days, whatever. So you write, so it looks achievable. You'll go, okay, I can sell one of the 2,000 things every 3 days. And if you feel that then your strategy 2,000 product, you go, okay, so that means I can send 300 of these, which means I can make 600,000 out of this, right? So you write that down, put those numbers across for every product and every strategy. At this point, what I also want you to do is classify them under the title of solutions and influence. Why solutions and influence is because, like you already know if you've attended any of my trainings, is I believe there are only two ways to grow a business. One is you provide more solutions to your clients, or you create more clients, which is you create more influence with your potential clients or your clients. Okay, so that's why everything gets categorized under solutions and influence. For simpler understanding, everything that you call as a product is actually a solution. Why I don't like calling it a product, because when you create products, you think about what can I create, but else when you create a solution, you always think, what does my client need? And so I approach it from the place of what does my client need, because that's always the more effective way of selling. So you create that solution, and then you think about what's the influence. Influence is more things like traffic. So everything that you put like strategies in the previous questions, put it under influence. Everything that you said as products in the previous question, put it under solutions. So what you would now have at this point is, you know exactly what are the 5-8 solutions that you think you need to create, and 5 to 8 influence channels that you need to work on, and you have numbers across each of these things. So you know exactly what is going to bring the most value, and what is going to be the most valuable thing to work on, to all the way down to the least valuable thing to work on. Okay, now here is what I want you to do after that, and this is a critical step. It's delete and remove. Because if you look at it, you have probably, if you've listed 7 to 8 items on both of those sides, what you have done is you have created something which is called the entrepreneur's overwhelm. You feel now that you have to do these 16 items in a course of 12 months, which puts 2 items for every month to be able to scale your business. Now here is the biggest strategy that we implemented this year to grow by 60%. And remember, this is a big company we're talking about, so 60% growth is phenomenal. So what we did is we started doing less things. We actually slowed down on the overall business, if you think about it really deeply about the business, because we said, okay, this year we are only going to, for example, Mindvalley for 2014 only focus on solutions. All we thought about every day was, how do we create more solutions for our existing clients, or people who are already in our network, or people who are already coming to our network organically or by paid advertising. So what we did is we completely eliminated strategies. We only said we are going to build a formidable solutions outline for authors to come in, work with us, and use our technologies to create great products that will serve our clients, or create great solutions that will serve our clients. And only thing that we focused on for the entire year was that, is we focused only on solutions. And that is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to pick one of the sides and pick 1 to 4 items. That's all you really need for the entire year to get the success that you want to get. Now, here's an example of how that really pans out. So for example, you go, you know what, I already have, and I'm going to give 2 examples for you to just understand why this works and how it actually compounds. Okay, so for example, if you go in and you say, hey, I have so many products already. Let's say you already worked on creating products or solutions for the past 2 years in your business, and you go, I have so many solutions already. I have 7 of them. So then there's no point for you to create one more new solution. All you need is to create more influence with your existing audience. So what you would go is you would go, okay, here are the 7 things that I already have set up on autopilot. And by the way, this is the exact same strategy that I gave to a really very, very popular entrepreneur. I can't give the name away on this call. And they were mind blown, even if they've done this for several years, right? So all I told them is don't create anything new. Don't create anything new. All you need to do is autopilot or set up everything for scale. So for example, if you already have a webinar set up, or you do a webinar all the time, just put it on autopilot and run Facebook traffic to it. So all you do is you focus on creating more influence if you have the solutions. But always what is easy to do is to create more solutions if you have even some traffic coming to you, okay, or some kind of influence that is already there, because you might already have a Facebook fan page, you might already have some basic advertising account set up, you might already have some SEO, you might already have some JV partnerships, whatever that is. If you already have that a little bit, even if it's not a lot, if you just add and give your clients more solutions, your business will go exponentially. Now, for example, let's say if you are doing a small business, your business is anywhere between 200,000 to $1 million. Okay, if that's the case, if you want to grow that business by say 50% year on year, all you have to do is add a high-end solution for your existing clients. By high-end, I mean it could be anywhere between $1,500 to $10,000, depending completely on how much you can offer and your scope of things, right? So if you go any solution between $1,500 to $10,000, what's going to happen is, say, if you were doing $1 million, all you have to do is you have to figure out how to sell. You have to grow by 500,000. Just for the ease of it, I'm going to round it off to say $2,000 product. So if you have a $2,000 product and you need to create $500,000 out of it, all you have to do is sell, and I'm going to do that division right now, is sell 250 units of it, which means a unit every a day, let's say, for example. So all you have to do is you have to figure out how to sell 1 unit every single day, and you've grown your business by 50% from $1 million to $1.5 million by creating just one solution. Now think about it. This is just one solution. How much easier it is for you to create one solution in a scope of 12 months versus trying to create 5. Okay. Now, so that's where you can just switch your conversation and go into working exclusively either on solutions or working on influence. I wanted to give you both the examples so you can see how easy it will become once you have picked a side. So at this point, what I want you to do is I want you to go, okay, this year I'm only going to work on either solutions, or I'm only going to work on strategies or my influence area. And whatever you pick, you stick with that and take the top 3 items or top 4, depending on what's your bandwidth and how big these items are. Top 4 that you have, that you've identified already, because you listed maybe 7, 8 items, right, on both the sides. So now you have, let's say, from 8 items on both the sides, which means 16 items, you're left with 4, because you would have first chosen a side if you want to do solutions or you want to do influence. And secondly, you would have picked only 4 out of all of them, okay? So that is something that is critical. Now, once you have deleted the concepts, so by concepts are things that were under influence and under goes. But second thing that you need to kind of consider working with is, in case you already have a team, and if you're working with teams, you need to let anybody who's toxic to the environment, to the overall growth of the company, and is not aligned with the company to go. The reason why that needs to happen is because there is no way we can achieve growth while working with individuals that do not align with the larger vision of the company or what you want to achieve. As much as they might be great friends, as much as they might be wonderful people, it's not a judgment on them. It's just that once you've made the decision of growth, you've made the decision of impacting lives. And if you want to impact lives further, sometimes there will be certain individuals that may not fit the grand scheme of things. And to be very honest, it's also good for them in many ways, because when they allow themselves to not be in an environment where they're not aligned, they might find something that's a lot more powerful for them. So as much as it sometimes may feel a very tough decision to make and a really hard thing to do, it is actually good for them, and it's good for you. Now, just to make sure how we picked up the concept, of sometimes people ask me this question, okay, how do I pick one of the concepts? I mean, how do I know if I should take my solution side, or should I take my influence side, or what are the top? How do I know which are the items I should pick? So this is how I like to look at it. I usually go, can you take easier and high leverage items? So you always go for whatever is easy and high leverage first. Then you go for a little bit less leverage, but a lot of ease. Then you go for high leverage but a little bit hard, and then last thing that you want to do is low leverage and really hard, right? So everything that you pick, it must fall in like this quadrant that you see on your screen right now. Is you always go for the most leverage and the easiest thing to execute. Why? Because you'll get success easy, you'll get growth easy, and that sets you up for the next thing or the more complicated thing that you need to do. It may seem very intuitive, but sometimes just because we are so passionate about something that's a little bit more complicated, just because you align so much, sometimes it is better to defer it. I'm not saying to not do it. What I'm saying is to defer it. What you need to think about is how and what you can achieve right now, get that success right now, and whatever can happen a little bit delayed happens a little bit delayed. So that would be something that you might want to look at when you're thinking about how to pick the concept that you want to work with. Then after that is, how do you know what team members don't align with you anymore, or in case you want to let go of individuals if they don't fit your culture, they don't fit the team, and if they don't align with the vision. That's how you know if a team member is in perfect alignment. That's how you know if a team member should be in the team or shouldn't be in the team anymore. So it's a super hard decision to make, but at the same point in time, it is vital and critical for the company and for yourself as an entrepreneur to be able to get that success. Okay, so at this point, what you have is you have already have the one area that you're focused on. It's either influence or solution. You have a complete understanding of what your customer is. Remember the question where we answered of all the characteristics of the customers. Third thing that you have is the team that you will be working with, and you know exactly the individuals that need to stay and the individuals that need to go. I've been accused of getting at least 10, 20 people removed from organizations because of this conversation I've had with individuals. But it's not because I don't want to come. I come from a place of heart, and I feel that there's a point where business needs to go, and business and individuals need to be valued for who they are and be able to have that honest conversation and move from there. Okay, and then you also have 3 or 4 really powerful concepts that you'll be working on in the area that you decided. Okay, so at this point, you should have only 4 things that you're doing in the entire year. Only 4 things tops in one area. So it will either be based on you're creating more solutions, or it will be based on you're creating more influence. Okay, whatever that area is, that's the area you're going to focus on, and the 4 concepts you're working with. Okay, now at this point, what I want you to do is I want you to take a sheet, and I'm going to show you the sheet. I mean, it could be on your pad. It's absolutely okay. You will pick a quarter, and you'll pick a priority in that quarter, and you'll break it into months. Here's an example for you to imagine it. So let's say if I imagine that I picked up influence, okay, and I said the things that I will focus on in the year 2015 is I will focus on Facebook and I will focus on affiliate partnerships. Let's say these are the only 2 areas, broad areas, that I decided I want to work on and focus on. Okay, so, and this, of course, this is a hypothetical thing based on a business that might be only $100,000 to $200,000. And you could just, and if you're $100,000 to $200,000, if you do this, what I'm just saying right now here, you will probably double your business next year. So let's say, for example, Q1, all I will focus on is on my Facebook page. I'll figure out how to make that page. I will set a cadence for the posts that should go there, and they're shared. And then I would, in the month of March, I will autopilot this activity, which means I will make this activity in a way that's repeated without me being in the system, but being on the system. Okay, so Q1 priority is only 1 priority. So if you look at it, the only thing that I'm focused all year long on this sheet is influence. And influence also, I'm working only on 2 areas, Facebook and affiliate partnership. In Facebook, I'm working on Facebook ads and Facebook organic. So even if I have to break it down, I'm working on only 3 things, which is Facebook organic, Facebook ads, and affiliate partnerships. And that's pretty much it. Okay. In Q1, I set the priority as Facebook pages. Q2, I set Facebook ads. Quarter 3, I said affiliate partnerships, and Quarter 4, I said Facebook ads retargeting. So I'm just saying retargeting is one of my priorities in this scenario. Okay, and you will see every month I know exactly what needs to get done. Now it is very, very easy for if you look at the breakdown of everything here, because you know that every morning all you have to do, or all of the month, all you have to really focus on is creating an epic page and create a cadence for putting out posts in February. So you know it's so easy, because now you know that's the one thing, if you get done, you will move your business significantly forward. So what we are doing is we are also in another way trying to find the 20% of the 20% that makes the greatest impact. So like the 80-20 principle. So you got the 80-20. Out of this 20, you again do an 80-20, and you find that 20, and that's the 20 that we have found in this sequence, and we're trying to see how that will look like every month. Now I'm going to switch around the example, because now what we're going to do as next step, so I'm hoping you're doing this while I'm speaking. So if you haven't done this yet, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Let's give you 45. I'll give you 45 seconds to write it down. All right, so I'm guessing at this point you've already broken down your priorities by a quarter, and you've broken down into months. Now what I want you to do is break it down into weeks, and ideally you should, by the end of this, know exactly what every day will look like. So here is an example I'm going to give you how it will look like when you break it down into weeks. Now know that this exercise is not random, what I'm sharing with you. This is exactly how my process looks like. This is exactly right now. If you want to know what's going to happen in Mindvalley in the month of September next year in 2015, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I'm not making it up. We know exactly what's happening in September in 2015. That certainty allows predictability of revenue, allows a lot of mental peace and a lot of bliss. Everything that we are doing today is not only designed for aggressive growth, but aggressive growth for yourself as an individual to achieve your goals today and not have to wait for forever and ever and ever. Now here's an example how it may look like at this step. Now what I want to do is, once you've defined the quarter, we know the broader themes of the month. So I've taken solutions as a theme here. So if the quarter's goal is get more solutions in the business, and the first month would be, say, conceptualization of the solution grid, which means made, how do they look like, what's the outline for each of the solution that we're working on. Let's say we decided to work on 4 solutions this year, whatever your number is. Okay, so you say, okay, this is how the solutions are going to look like, these are the problems they're going to solve, this is the structure. You come up with that and you break it down by every week. So you go, week 1, I'm going to write down the name of all the solutions I'm going to do and the basic outline. Week 2, I'm going to do a detailed outline. Week 3, I'm going to start doing some demo on it to send to friends to get feedback, whatever that may look like based on the process that you follow to create a product. Okay, so you go, that's my January. I'm going to conceptualize the entire solution grid. February, I will start creating the solution, and March, I will promote that solution to my existing audience. Okay, so now what happens in this is, now you know every month and every week, and because you know every week, you know every day what you need to do to be able to get to your goal. And you know it's a process. You're working with the process. You're going in the flow. And so you actually get it done, instead of saying, oh shit, today you wake up in a mode and you go, okay, I woke up and I need to do this, and because I'm going to do it, everything is like, and then you crash. after 2 months. You're like, holy, I'm done. I've created the solution. It didn't work. It didn't work because you were trying to make it too fast. You need to give yourself permission. You need to set yourself up in a way that you can be successful every single time. Okay, more success you get, more success you compound, it's easier for you to go to the next step. It's easier for you to go to the next step. Okay, so just be mindful of that and break it down now at this point, week by week, as to what's happening in January, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. This will set the tone for your day. And at the last step, we're going to create everyday plan. But before I go ahead and ask you to do that, I need you to create this. So at this point, break down everything by January, February, March, April, May, June, July, by month. And then within the month, right, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Just have 4 weeks in every month for now for the A's, for the case of simplicity. And later on, after this presentation is over, what I want you to do is even break it down by every day. Every day, I know, at least for the first quarter of next year, I know exactly what email's going out every day, for example, or what ad's going to launch around what time. So that kind of certainty is very easy to get, especially when you go and say, there are only 4 things I'm going to do, and these are those 4 things. And I'm going to focus on that. And that's my primary focus. Till the time I achieve success in that, it's okay. All right? So at this point, I'm going to, again, mute myself for another 45 seconds. Actually, I'm going to do it for a whole minute. And I want you to go ahead and write this down and break down every week of every month. All right, at this point, I'm hoping that you've already got a really good solid plan in place, which is broken down all the way down to every week that what needs to happen in 2015. Now, it may look like a very simple exercise. It may look like, well, you just got me my calendar made and that's all it is. But realize the power that you're getting out of this is that now you know how little you have to do to achieve the success that you need to achieve. Most of the times as entrepreneurs, we get overly excited about every idea that comes along. And sometimes we stop valuing the power of doing less. Doing less is actually doing more, because when you do it, A, you will do it of really high quality. B, you will do it properly in a way that it can be scaled. Because if we to repeat the business every single year. So most of the businesses that I've seen are businesses like this. They are like a startup every year. So they have no guarantee of success next year, or they have guarantee but in the heads of the founder, but it's not really a guarantee because it's not a system. It's not a process. It cannot run on itself. What you want to do is you want to create less, but create something that can run on itself. It can scale on itself. It can grow on itself. And the more of those things you create, the faster your business is going to grow. So what I want you to do, and give it another second before we go into the last part of the presentation, is to really let this sink in. I want you to work on 4 ideas this year, and that's all it is. 4 to 5 ideas. That's all I really want you to focus on only one area of your business. See if your business really needs influence at this point, or it needs solutions at this point. And whatever it needs, only work on that area. It's okay to defer and delay. It's okay. You don't need to grow your business by 1,000% next year if there is no bliss in it. Okay? You want to grow your business by 100%, 50%. You have to respect that you have a team. You need to grow that team while you're growing your business. You need to respect you need to grow while you grow your business. You need to respect that you need that time to be able to think about your business on a long term as much as you're thinking about it on a short term. So the immediate gains sometimes look very easy to get, but on long term, they're extremely harmful for you as an individual and your company. So you want to be mindful of that. You want to be mindful of what needs to be done now and what can be deferred and delayed, and that's absolutely okay if that happens. Okay, so give yourself that permission, have those 4 to 5 items, and that's the only thing that I want you to work on. Now, before we get into questions, what I want you to do is, after this, once you've created this plan, if you're a member of Zentrepreneur, find somebody in Zentrepreneur who can help you get through every month on this plan. So there is a follow-through buddy in some way. If you're not a member of Zentrepreneur, we'll give you a special access link at the end of this presentation that if you want to join Zentrepreneur, you can. And you can always choose to do things alone, and you can choose to do things together. We'd love to have you join us, and we do it together. But if that's not the case, that's absolutely cool as well. All I want you to do is I want you to go find somebody that will hold you accountable for the success that you're going to achieve next year. Okay, it doesn't have to be a public question. It can just be a private question to people and individuals and entrepreneurs that you need. Ideally, try to work with entrepreneurs who are doing at least as good, if that allows you to create more success. The reason why that is done, and even if they're doing as good, sometimes it's about timings. There's still the time they're smart people who look at business in the right way, in the way you want to look at business, have the right mindset, growth mindset, have the right mindset in the sense of that they don't only want to create businesses which are just businesses, but they want to create bliss along with businesses. They want to create impact along with businesses. So I just want to make sure that you're mindful of that, and you are making sure that you find that one partner. You just need one, and you're working with that partner through the course in the next few months to make sure that your follow-through plan is good. They are also going to help you see if what you put out as a plan is actually a good plan for you, and they would be able to give you that feedback if that may be too aggressive or maybe not as aggressive as it should be, whatever that may be, but you'll have some perspective. It's very, very good to have a buddy. So I want you to go find a buddy at this point. What I also want to announce is actually now I'm going to do Q&A. So at the group, we got a couple of questions. If you have any questions, please please either send it as a Q&A, or I will be looking at the feed that is there on the Hangout page, and I will be answering there. Chris, yes, you asked the question if you can post questions to me. Yes, you can. Use the Q&A section. If not, just post it on the group, and I am reviewing the group right now as we speak. Somebody wants nuggets. I have no idea what that is. Will we get access to recorded video Hangout? Yes, Carlos, you will probably see a recording of this. You should host another one. Yes, we are doing it. Carol, I hope you are on the call and having a great time. I hope I've answered your questions, and we will have some great success with you in the year 2015. 10 p.m. ET. Samir, I have no idea what your question really means, but we are live right now. Deborah asks the question, I'm using the spreadsheets from the Maximize multiplier for my 2015 plan. I don't know what Maximizer multiplier is. If you're talking about multiplier method, thank you very much for using that. I had 3 online businesses that I plan to launch, so anything that would help in the area of strategic planning would be great. I also have many online business courses still to take next year, so anything that would help in balancing between learning, strategic planning, operations, and finding time to decompress would also be great. I have yet to master that one. Deborah, I have the perfect answer for you. What I want you to do is stop worrying about how many masterminds you can attend. There is no point attending mastermind if there is no outcome that you want to achieve out of it. So first of all, you want to see, like I said, what area of business you're going to work on. You have 3 online businesses. That's a lot of businesses. I'm hoping you have a solid team that support you to do that. If that is not the case, please make sure that that you get a team, because it's 3 businesses, or you don't focus on all 3 businesses this year. You focus on 1, and just the growth in that 1 or 2, whatever. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to give a little bit more permission to yourself, but make sure that you don't create overwhelm. We always overestimate what we can do in a scope of a year. The less, I'm telling you honestly, and I cannot say it again and again enough, that people feel the need to do a lot of things to achieve great success in business. We just created a business from scratch and took it to 600,000 this year by doing just solutions. That was the only thing that we focused on. And if you focus on just one area and do it real well, you will see a lot more success than you would otherwise see. So just decide what are the three businesses you want to focus on, or what are the three areas in those three businesses that you want to focus on. But it's not your focus, your team's focus, and you're just guiding them. You're a coach to them. If you don't have a team, I would strongly recommend that you focus on one or maximum two businesses with 2 items on each that can give you maximum growth. Like I shared in the chart, you go for what's easy and high value, and you do that first in both of those businesses, and I'm sure that you will get 100% or more growth in that area. You don't have to attend every mastermind. Use the same approach. You need maybe 2 to 3 events or 4 events in a year. So you say an event every quarter. That's more than enough for you to get the success that you want. Because I'll tell you one more secret. How many times do we go to masterminds and events and we get 2,000 ideas from there and we can implement one or nothing? Or those are just sitting in a shelf and they have been there till the time they are obsolete and not valuable anymore. So why not just go to 4 masterminds this year or 4 events this year and try to find one idea at each of them? That's it. One idea and 3 connections. That's my matrix that I always follow. That I try to find one idea that I can create at least 1 million within the next year. And I try to find 3 connections of friends or affiliates or partnerships or authors or deals in any other way to be able to go, hey, would we be resonant with each other? Will we be able to create a great business together? And so I will just try to find 3 great connections. So even if there are 200 people, 500 people at the event, and they might be all super powerful and great, what I try to do is not try to talk to everybody. I try to find 3 really good friends that I can talk to at any level by the end of the event, or 3 or 4 day event. Okay, so that's what I would do if I was in your situation, Deborah. All right, let's see what else do we got. Started a nonprofit World Peace Center, People and Peace and Purpose. So I would love input on how to grow this. Audie, you need to give me something to work with here. That's a very generic question, so I'm gonna not be able to answer that. But if you would give me details over an email, you can email support@zenpreneur.com. If you're a Zenpreneur member, I will look into that question. You have to give me a couple of days though, because you want me to analyze something. Sumi asked a question which said, as per your request for takeaways, would love to get your feedback in launching a group coaching program. I'm ready to launch in a 6-month program with a goal of 100% enrollment at 3,000 with mostly cold leads. Would love your feedback on my funnel and best practices. With Sumi, we have actually picked her and we are going to do a special case. What I've done is next week, I'm speaking to Sumi on Monday, 6 p.m. PST. With her permission, if she gives us that permission, I'm going to open that up for everybody to come in and join us live while I evaluate her business. I don't have that permission yet. If I have that permission, we will do it live. If not, I do have the permission on sending that as a recording. So I will just work with Sumi, and I will make sure that you have one more absolutely fantastic training. So Sumi's questions will be answered, but it will be answered live next week, Monday, 6 p.m. PST. If you would love to join that, do make sure you give a shout out to Sam or send an email to support@zenpreneur.com, and we'll try to see if we can accommodate the request, and we'll try to persuade Sumi to work with us live. All right. Currently, I have one question. We find a suitable work buddy in the group. Alia Sheikh, if you are in the Zenpreneur community, I would say just look through the thread, look at people's businesses. There are about, I think, 200 entrepreneurs in there, and see which one would work for you best. If not, you can speak with Sam. You can send some details about your business, and Sam may be able to recommend somebody that you can get in touch with. I think you can reach Sam at support@zenpreneur.com. If you're not in Zenpreneur, I would just recommend any of your friends who are fellow entrepreneurs. If not, then maybe on Mind Insights you can find fellow entrepreneurs, and that might be a good place for you to go in, buddy, accountable for the success that we want to achieve in 2015. All right, Sean says he got the timing mixed up. Sorry about that, Sean. It was partly our fault. We had set up the call at 6 p.m. PST, but unfortunately the Google Hangouts at 7 p.m. PST. So sorry about that. So the replay should be up as soon as we get off the call. I don't see a reason why it won't be available. So you could totally go and check out the Google Hangout. and be able to watch the entire presentation. I think that is pretty much it. If there are any questions at this point, please do go ahead and post as questions. You can post it on the group. You can ask it on the private chat. If you want to reach me, you can reach me at support@zentrepreneur.com. We would love to have you in the community. You can go ahead and check out Zentrepreneur at zentrepreneur.com/tribe. Zentrepreneur.com/tribe. Let me try and put up that link for you. That's my team shouting. I don't know why. But let's go ahead and show you the link. Yeah, so this is the link, zentrepreneur.com/tribe. This is the place where you can go and actually check out the event at this point. Samir has a question. I want to launch my leadership coaching business next year and need to create one solution. Sorry. So a little bit break here. I want to launch my leadership coaching business next year and need to create one solution and one influence item like premium package and website blog. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. You could just simply do that, where you can just simply create one solution and one influence item. Ideally, I would just focus on either influence or solution, but I feel that maybe what might be a situation with you, Samir, is you are just starting out. If that's the case, then I would say yes, one solution and one influence item, and that should be good enough. And if I could be honest, in the area that you're working on, I would say create one high-end solution and just Facebook as your influence item. That will be the fastest way you can create, say, $250,000 to $500,000 in next 1 year, if you do that right. Okay. So that, I hope, answers your question, Samir. If there's anybody else who has any last questions, please go ahead and ask right now in the Q&A section or on the page of the Google Hangout. So actually, wow, I have some questions here. JF Garsula, if I said your name right, my friend. If a focus of a certain quarter is affiliate relationships, is there a process that you advise to get them promoting for you? How do you structure building affiliate relationships and creating solutions? So JF, this is how I like to work with affiliates. Affiliates are think about their JV partners. They're partners of yours in that relationship where they make money out of the whole process as well. So here is how I approach them. When I speak to affiliates, I don't speak to them as just somebody who's sending an email for me. I treat them like a friend. I go, okay, hey buddy, so you have a related audience that I have, and I would love to give you a very, very special deal because you are like an early entry. So for example, in your case, I would go, hey brother, whatever the name is, I want to give you, or sister, whatever your name is, let me tell you, if you promote my product, and so your step one would be identification. For example, if you're in the niche of weight loss, you'll find out the top 100 affiliates in that area, and then you would go and write them an email where you would introduce yourself, and you would also tell them about your offer and how you're making a special deal for them. You will talk about what's your conversion rate, what's your EPC, which is earning per click, and once you've done that, maybe 5% of them will reply, or maybe 10% will reply. Now, 5 to 10% of them who have replied are 5 to 10 solid relationships. 5 to 10 solid relationships with good size affiliates can mean sometimes as much as $500,000 over the course of a year. Cool. So don't think 5 to 10 is low. 5 to 10, it depends on what kind of quality of entrepreneurship of affiliates you have found. So then send another 100 batch. So you have, say, if you want to put a target of 50 affiliates that you want to work with, and you're converting at 10% return in the sense of signing them up, you will send 500 emails, and you need to find the 500 affiliates, and then you approach them that way. At this point, then you will have those 50 affiliates. What you would do with them is you would give them a special offer to get started. So what you want to do is you want to create a campaign where you will go, okay, so this may take about 3 months. So it might be a whole quarter that you're focusing on, which is exactly what you said. So in the first month, you're sending out those 500 emails. The second month, you're promoting, or already you have scheduled, when you're approaching them for the first time, for that matter, you should have created a campaign that runs in the third month. So let's say in March, you're running a campaign where you're giving 75% affiliate commission at an EPC of $3. And what you do is you go, okay, so hey, my friend, I'm giving $3 EPCs in the month of March. I'm doing this promo, and I'm giving away cash prizes of $3,000, right? Or $5,000, whatever your amount is, right? So now these 50 guys have a campaign that they can win. So there's competition, there's a challenge, there is certain level of excitement because they're making more money. So they have to baseline make money as well. They are making more money, and now you're personally connected with them because now you're only working with 50 people instead of getting anxious about 5,000, right? So because anyways, it's always the top affiliates. That's the only, like, your top 50 will make you 80% of the revenue. So your 20% always makes 80% of your revenue, right? So you just focus on those, and that's how I would do our affiliate relationships. What I would do as affiliate relationship, I follow up with them personally. I would call them, especially the top few. I would have friendships with them. They will know everything about me. I'll know everything about them. I'll send them gifts, all that kind of stuff. But our partnerships range from, our top affiliates make anywhere from 300,000 with us in a year to $1 million with us in a year. So they're pretty fairly decent size affiliate partnerships. But that's how I approach them as well. So I work mostly with the top 30 affiliates, and those are the only guys I know and I work with. But I know that's close to 2.5 to 3 to maybe even 4 million in the course of a year. So that's how I would play it out. Okay. Mike asked the question, what is Mindvalley's focus for 2015? More solutions or influence? In 2015, we are more focused on influence. We were focused more towards solutions in the year 2014. But in 2015, we feel that we should be doing more influence stuff. So you would see a lot more activity on that side from us in 2015. Let me see if I have any more live questions. So Samir asked a follow-up question which says, Ajit, could you please clarify one more time why only solutions or only influence is so important? Thank you. It is because of this, because they are completely different things. If you think about it, working on solutions is completely different to working on influence. Influence is where you're actually interacting with clients. You need to learn more tactical stuff a lot of times, where you need to learn about, okay, how to run Facebook ads. To run a Facebook ad is completely different to creating a product. Think about it like this. And that is why if you focus on only one of the two items, it allows you tremendous focus in the way you can deliver, because you're learning time. So think about it like this. If you're creating a solution, if you're really a good solution creator, you're probably creating structures and frameworks and easy trying to simplify for the audience to understand a concept, to be able to really break it down. And to be able to do that is a completely different skill set to trying to create a Facebook ad. And if you're going to run a really good influence campaign, you need to learn, let's say if you're doing Facebook, you need to run a Facebook ad. So this is completely different space that you have to be in. And if you are switching between these two spaces, I feel that we as entrepreneurs lose productivity, our teams lose productivity. And so I rather, as my energy, always focus only on one thing. So if I'm working on solutions, I will work on structure of the product. I will work on how I can deliver the greatest value. How can I create virality within the product? How can I create follow-up bonuses? How can I create my brand value? All those things will be more focused. Whereas if I'm doing influence, I will think about how I would completely forget about the structure of the product. All I'll think about is how do I create more let's say messages for my audience because I'm doing Facebook organic, or how do I create more designer stuff? How do I create more front-facing beautiful websites? Or how do I create more Facebook ads or Google ads or whatever that is? But basically, I'm working on a completely different kind of thing. So for me, I found that if you're working like that, where you're not switching too much between the two spaces, you're always more productive. So I prefer to have more productivity, and hence I focus on one of the two items. I hope that answers your question. Now, before we move on and take the last few questions, I just want to repeat, if you're not already a part of Zentrepreneur, I think you absolutely must check out zentrepreneur.com/tribe. It's a fantastic tribe. We have entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. And not only that, if you are a part of the elite tribe, you also get to work with me directly. An elite tribe, if you're a Zentrepreneur member and you don't know much about it, send an email to support@zentrepreneur.com. Only a few businesses qualified to be able to do that. At Zentrepreneur, we do these kind of trainings every single month, where I come on and I try to take the biggest question of the audience and try to address it and answer it from the perspective of how we would approach it and solve it as a business. At the same point of time, you also have the whole tribe helping out each other all the time. So if you're not yet a member of zentrepreneur.com, the tribe, Zentrepreneur Tribe, you should totally go ahead and check it out. If you are a part of Zentrepreneur Tribe, and if your business is doing, either it's really, really fast-paced or it's doing more than $1 million, you probably want to consider joining Zentrepreneur Elite. For that, please email support@zentrepreneur.com and you can get your questions answered. I have Shamash, if I said it right, your name. Sorry if the name I didn't say it properly. Hi, how do you decide how to balance your budget between Google Ads and content for improving SEO to increase traffic? Thanks, really enjoying the session. Thank you very much, Shamash. This is what I would do. So there's a concept which says either to grow your business, either you will pay in time or you will pay in money. I like to pay in money. It's not that I'm saying that's the right way, that's just my way. So if I have to choose between ads and SEO, I always choose ads over SEO. The reason is this, because I can get immediate ranking, get immediate ROI, get people to immediately work with me, and know if my product is going to work, if my offer is going to work, instead of trying to see over the course, because SEO will take months to get any result, right? And it's not that it's the wrong way, it's just is a more patient way of growing the business. I'm not that patient. I rather just buy the product and I would do the content and SEO stuff after once I've already bought the ad. So if I have to balance your budget, I would say if you can buy more advertising, just buy more advertising. It's easier and it's easier to run and it runs forever. So I'd rather do that. And if not, then I would just say, okay, if that's not the case and you don't have unlimited budget with you, then go ahead and invest in SEO. But know that is the slower way to grow. It's and it's not that it's certain. It's not any more certain than running your ads, because I mean, Google can take you down on SEO too. I mean, it has happened with people many times. So I'm sure that you have full idea about that, how SEO works. So I guess that hopefully answers your question, Shamash. So like I said, I would prefer to go advertising if I was in your place. Awesome. So Jeff, thank you that you have got your question answered. I think that is pretty much it. I'm gonna do one more refresh to make sure that everything is good and we don't have any questions, maybe on Zentrepreneur. I don't know. I'm gonna just go check it out. If somebody asked a question there, we have people asking question everywhere sometimes. It's kind of funky. No, actually, I think we look good. I think we did okay here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just confirm if there's any last question here. No, so I hope you've got the answer. You have set yourself up for 2015 and success in 2015. This presentation, like I said, once I've presented to several masterminds, I've presented to individuals, to my personal clients that I've worked with, and we've found repeatedly just doing this simple exercise and this simple activity allows them to grow their business by a dramatic percent, whatever they set out to do, which is the good part of the whole thing, while maintaining their bliss. It's extremely important that while you're doing this exercise, when you do the follow through after our call, you not only value your growth in sense of financial growth, but you also value why is it that you are doing what you're doing, and you question the why, you question the meaning, you see why the bliss. If the bliss goes at the end of the year, when you'll sit with the numbers and the financial data, you may have grown, but you will be burnt out. You'll not be happy with and then you're going to go through that journey that a lot of entrepreneurs go, I hate my business and I want to sell it off and I want to give it away or whatever. Not a pleasant place to be, something that you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, and then it just blows away, So just be mindful of that. Make sure that it's also blissful to build your business as much as it is rewarding in the sense of financial reward, because it's not a short-term play. It is something that you're building for life. So let's build it like an empire. Okay, so be mindful of that. Answer those questions. I hope you get great value. Thank you so much for everybody who's acknowledging right now that they had a great session. Thank you very much. I had a great time presenting it to you, and I am super excited to see your results. If you are on Zentrepreneur, give a shout out to me so I know you got value. You can send me a private message. You can also send any feedback to these sessions, and if you'd like to see more of these sessions, to support@zentrepreneur.com. If you have any questions related to Zentrepreneur or Zentrepreneur Elite, please reach out to support@zentrepreneur.com with Sam. Excited. Have a great 2014 ending. End with a bang. Don't try to limit yourself. This is a great time of the year. We are also following through really strongly in Mindvalley and having a super exciting time. And I am sure you are going to have a great end of 2014 and have a fantastic 2015. If you're on Zentrepreneur, give me a shout out and let's make sure you have a fantastic year. All right. Have a great, fantastic, awesome day. Bye.
supposed to stop.